From Athletic Park in beautiful Wausau, Wisconsin, it's almost time for Rockford Rivets baseball. Today, the 8-10 Rivets take on the 10-7 Wisconsin Woodchucks. Good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining me on the Rockford Rivets radio network. It's Larry Larson in with you tonight and all season long. In case you joined us last night, you heard a heartbreaking loss for the Rockford Rivets. As they could not get back to 500, they fell 4-3 to the Lakeshore Chinooks. At Lakeshore last night, they led the game 3-1 going into the 7th inning before Jake Armstrong came on and allowed 2 home runs to surrender the lead, and the Rivets could not come back and ended up losing their 10th game of the season. The Rivets enter this one in 4th place in the Great Lakes East standings with a record of 8-10, 4.5 games back of the first place Traverse City Pittsbitters. The Wisconsin Woodchucks, on the other hand, are tied for first place in the Great Lakes West Division with a mark of 10-7, tied with those red-hot Lakeshore Chinooks who have now won 6 games in a row. So a big game for the Woodchucks, but of course a big game for the Rivets as they look to find their footing. Yesterday was game number 18 for the Rivets in the 36-game first half of the Northwoods League season. So, of course, the halfway point of that first half, and the division winner in the first half gets a playoff berth in the Northwoods League playoffs. So the Rivets need to start stringing some wins together if they want to track down those pesky Pittsbitters, as they are starting to run away with the division a little bit. The next closest team behind them in the standings is Kenosha, who sits at 9-9, 3.5 games back of the Pittsbitters. We'll talk more division race later, but for now, I want to toss it to our pregame interview. Today, it features Cam McDonald, the redshirt sophomore from the University of Illinois. Me and Cam talked about his experience here with the Rockford Rivets. This year is his 3rd season with the club, and we talked his career at Illinois, in addition to a little Fighting Illini athletics as well. So here's Cam McDonald, Rivets infielder and outfielder. On the Rockford Rivets pregame show with Illinois, now junior eligibility-wise, Cam McDonald. Cam, you're in your 3rd season here with the Rockford Rivets, and what's kept you coming back?
I love Rockford, love the guys here. New JT from the Dome, and decided to come back for another year.
Obviously, looking at your numbers at the University of Illinois, you had your big freshman year, took a little bit of a dip at the start of last year. How do you feel where you're at right now in your career baseball-wise?
I feel good. That dip sophomore year, I struggled a little bit, got it back going this year, and then, just the highs and lows of baseball. And I think I've gotten better through the bad times, even more so than the good times. So I feel like I'm in a good spot right now.
Yeah.
Just keep working.
That's something that I know that we've talked about is the Northwoods League and how that's helped you a little bit. How much has that helped with your development process and kind of riding those highs and lows throughout a full 72-game season?
Definitely a lot, because in the college season, when you get into a slump and you have a bad weekend, you get a whole week to work on your swing. In the woods, it's every day, even when you're not feeling well, you have to strap it on the next day and play. So it's definitely helped a lot, mentally more than anything.
Yeah, certainly. And one thing I'm sure also helps you is your dad, Matt, and obviously that's something that jumps out on your bio online is that your dad played all those seasons in the minor leagues. How much of an influence has he had on your career?
Definitely a ton. He's been able to through the bad and the good, keeping me humble through the good, and then through the bad, he's always been my number one supporter, especially once I got to school, because he more than anybody understands that this game's really hard and it's not going to be easy all the time.
Yeah, certainly. Now I kind of want to change directions a little bit, talking Illinois, maybe not baseball, but just overall the campus vibe. I know it's been a little bit of a resurgence there with the basketball team, having that big year this year, and, hope springs eternal for the football team. From your freshman year to now, how much has that campus culture changed a little bit?
It's been way different, especially with COVID, right now. I never really left the apartment this year, but, with basketball on the up and coming, and then hopefully with the new football coach coming in and doing big things, it's going to be a lot of fun these next 2 years watching other sports and other teams. It seems like every sport's really come together as a family, and like as a group. Like I know these football coaches are way more like they talk way more like to the baseball coaches, and like even like when like our games, they'll tweet about our games and stuff. They're like really active on Twitter, so it's pretty cool to have that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I want to go to a handful of rapid-fire questions here. So quick questions and quick answers from you. I'll start with, who's the funniest teammate you've got here in Rockford?
Oh, Cushing.
Interesting. I've heard a number of different answers for that one. How about the best post-game meal so far?
Best post-game meal. Somewhere we had lasagna. I don't remember where.
I think that was Kokomo.
Kokomo lasagna, yeah.
All right, how about the worst?
Oh, help me out here. What was the worst thing we said? Maybe B-dubs for the 30th time. That could be it in Battle Creek.
Yeah,
Just because it's like 30 times in a row.
That's true. I know a popular answer for that one is also Kokomo with those pregame raps.
Oh, yeah, that was probably, yeah. I didn't like that one.
Yeah. How about the worst field you've played on?
Battle Creek.
No doubt. That's consensus. How about the best?
Last night at, what was it? The Schnucks?
Lakeshore.
Yeah, Lakeshore. That place was sick. I like that place a lot.
All right. How about your favorite Illinois basketball player from this past season?
Curbelo, for sure. I love watching him play. I like Io a lot, too, because we used to work out at the same place. We didn't talk that much, but it was still cool working out with him. But I really like watching Curbelo play.
There you go. You got that loose connection. He's going in the draft here probably, in a few months, a few weeks coming up. Io is, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun to watch. All right, let's see. One last question. I think Cruz Wagner came up with this question. If the Rivets had a Hunger Games, who would be the first to die and who would be the last to survive?
First to die... I'm saying Drew's the first to die.
Okay.
And then the last to survive, I'm taking Forrest.
All right.
Forrest, yeah.
I think
Chan. Maybe Chan. I'll throw Chan in there too.
Oh man, gotta love Chan. All right, that's Cam McDonald, Rivets super utility man. Cam, thanks for the time.
For sure.
That was Rockford Rivets infielder and outfielder Cam McDonald, the junior at University of Illinois. Thanks to Cam for taking the time pregame. Always great to catch up with him before and after games. One of the biggest personalities on this Rockford Rivets roster. Rivets and Wisconsin Woodchucks set to get underway in about 5 minutes at Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin. Thanks for joining us on this fine Saturday evening. It's a beautiful night for baseball, and it's a great day to be a pitcher as the wind is not blowing out here at a very shallow Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup for today. For the Wisconsin Woodchucks, it'll be the right-hander, freshman from Mercer, Ryan Lobis. He's got an 1.80 ERA in 15 innings pitched so far this season. Just 3 earned runs, 5 walks, and 12 strikeouts for the 6'2", 180-pound hurler. He'll square off against the left-hander from Western Illinois, Jace Warkentine. The Winnebago native is coming off of a Northwoods League Pitcher of the Night performance on June 11th at Kenosha when Jace went 8 innings, surrendered 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts. It was a big-time bounce-back outing for Warkentine as he surrendered 8 earned runs in his first start. So overall, his ERA is a little inflated at 6.43 in 14 innings pitched, 6 walks total to 13 strikeouts. And he is really dialed in today. You can tell he's starting to find his stride and get a little more settled in the Northwoods League. Lobis' last outing came on June 12th versus Kokomo. He got the loss. He went 5 innings, surrendering 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Taking a look at the scenery here at Athletic Park in the heart of Wausau, Wisconsin. It is a beautiful sunny day. Temperature at 78 degrees. The sun is shining with a few clouds in the sky around us, but no rain is in the forecast. Shouldn't prove to be a problem. It is a all-natural grass and dirt surface here at Athletic Park, and the walls are very, very shallow. It is certainly a hitter's park. Looking at the dimensions, it's 304 down the left field line, 360 feet to dead center, one of the most shallow ballparks in the entire league, and 316 down the right field line. So it's pretty easy to hit a home run here, but you do have to elevate the baseball as the walls are very high to protect against those long balls. Rivets have just 4 home runs this season. That's tied for 15th in the league, while the Woodchucks have gone long a little bit more, as you might figure, as they play their home games here at Athletic Park. They've got 7, tied for 8th in the league. Perhaps the big stat for both these sides is the Wisconsin Woodchucks ERA. It is the best in the Great Lakes Division, entering this matchup with a 2.80 mark, which is also good for 3rd overall in the Northwoods League. It's time for the national anthem here at Athletic Park. We're going to step aside and come back with your starting lineups in baseball after this on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. We're back at Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin. Rockford Rivets and Wisconsin Woodchucks about to get underway from the Northwoods of Wisconsin. Here are your starting lineups. First for the visiting Rockford Rivets. They enter this one with a record of 8-10, and they're managed by J.T. Scara. Josue Urdaneta, the redshirt freshman from Indiana State, is in the top spot, playing second base. Tyler Hawkins will bat second and play center field. Wade Elliott, the sophomore headed to Louisiana Tech, is the DH. Brody Harding, the shortstop, batting cleanup. Brian Fuentes is at first base, batting fifth. Philip Matulia, 0 for 8 so far this summer, is batting sixth in right field. Jared Cushing bats seventh. He's the third baseman. Drew Stengren is behind the plate tonight, batting eighth. And Greg Ziegler rounds it out, batting ninth and playing left field. Here's the Wisconsin Woodchucks lineup. They enter this one with a mark of 10-7, good for a tie for first place in the Great Lakes West Division. The Woodchucks line it up like this. Jordan Schaefer, the redshirt junior from Indiana State, at shortstop. Kevin Kilpatrick is out in left field, batting second. C.J. Kafis, the freshman from Miami, is in right. Griffin Lockwood behind the plate. Antonio Valdez bats fifth and plays third base. Bryson Hill is the DH, batting sixth. Taylor McGregor, no, not the Chicago Cubs sideline reporter, but the junior from Columbia, plays first base. Jose Lazard will play second base and bat eighth. And Jacob Schoenvogel, the freshman from Baylor, is in center field, batting ninth. The starting pitcher for the Woodchucks today is Ryan Lobis. As we mentioned a few moments ago in the pregame show, he's got a pretty solid ERA, 1.80 in 15 innings of work. Big right-hander, standing at 6'2", 180 pounds, headed to Mercer this fall, but played 2 seasons of junior college ball and kind of got roughed up in JUCO ball earlier this year at Chattanooga State. Posted an ERA of 6.52. It's almost time for baseball. Josue Urdaneta steps in the left-handed batter's box. Lobis sets and delivers the first pitch in there for a called strike at 6:07 p.m. Central Time. Thanks for joining us on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Rivets and Woodchucks just getting underway. Lobis, working from the set as always, fires the next pitch as grounded to second base. Jose Azara moves to his left, makes the play in time to first base to retire Josue Urdaneta on 2 pitches. Good start for Ryan Lobis. Base is empty, 1 out, top half of the first, and Tyler Hawkins comes to the plate. No score. Hawkins, the redshirt freshman from Louisville. Here's the first pitch. He watches a fastball in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Hawkins enters this one with a batting average of .255. .269 on base percentage, and he's struggled a little bit lately. 0-1. Breaking ball misses low and away. Check swing from Hawkins, did not go around, says the first base umpire. Tonight's umpiring crew, Perry Swartz at first base, Spencer Kim at third, and Jeff Osborne behind the plate. It's a crew that the Rivets have seen a few times. Lobis from the set, the 1-1, big hack and a miss. Got him on the fastball on the inside part of the zone, and it's 1-2. Hawkins, the native of Lexington, Kentucky, is 1 for his last 13 with 8 strikeouts after his 4-game hit streak was snapped earlier this week. Here's the 1-2, wave and a miss on a breaking ball in the dirt. Picked out of there by Griffin Lockwood, and that is out number 2 in the top of the first inning. Hawkins continues to struggle with K's. And there's 2 down, and the base is empty for the DH, Wade Elliott. Rivets and Woodchucks scoreless, just getting underway. Wade Elliott leads all qualified Rivets with a .349 average, and the first pitch to him is a fastball on the outer black, taken for a called strike 1. Wade just wrapping up 2 seasons of junior college in Texas. Here's the 0-1 to him. Big hack and a miss on a tailing breaking ball that was a little bit outside the zone. Elliott knew he didn't have a chance to get a piece of it. Elliott played at Grayson College this spring, hitting .340. Batting about the same clip here. The 0-2, tailing breaking ball, misses away. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Brody Harding waits on deck, and as he took a practice cut, he let go of the bat. It flew into the net. Not something you see every day. Lobis gazes in for the sign from Griffin Lockwood behind the plate. It's a long pause. He sets it to letters, and he delivers the 1-2. Fastball outside. That's ball 2. Right-hander on right-hander here. Rivets scored 2 runs in the top half of the first yesterday at Lakeshore. They're going to need a little 2-out magic here to do the same thing in Wausau. The kick in, the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Wade Elliott goes down on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts for Ryan Lobis here in the first inning. And after a half, it's the Rockford Rivets 0 and the Wisconsin Woodchucks coming up on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Headed to the bottom of the first inning at Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin. Rivets and Wisconsin Woodchucks scoreless so far as Jace Warkentine deals his warm-up pitches, getting set for his third start of the season as a Rivet. The redshirt junior attends Western Illinois and has really settled in his last start. He was Northwoods League Pitcher of the Night on June 11th at Kenosha. He went 8 innings, surrendering 7 hits and just 2 earned runs, striking out 8. And today in the Wisconsin Woodchucks order, he's going to face 4 left-handed hitters, starting with C.J. Kafis, who's the 3 batter. We'll see him later this inning, but Jordan Schaefer, the redshirt junior from Indiana State, climbs in the right-handed batter's box. Warkentine from the windup delivers the first pitch. It's a fastball in the dirt. Check swing from Schaefer. He did go around, says Perry Swartz at first base. And the count is 0-1. Warkentine displaying great control in his last outing. Overhead windup and the 0-1 pitch. Misses high and away. Ball 1. Schaefer has not seen much action so far this season for Wisconsin. Is just 2 for 7, 2 RBIs, 1 strikeout. 1-1 to him, swing and a miss. Warkentine got him on the change of pace. The count is 1-2. Warkentine going mainly with a fastball, changeup, slider, curveball mix. Got a good deep repertoire. He kicks and delivers the 1-2. Breaking ball knocked down in the dirt by Drew Stengren behind the plate. And the count is 2-2. Warkentine wasting no time. Wide stance in the windup from the left side of the rubber. The 2-2. Curveball misses outside. Warkentine thought he hit his spot there, but it was slightly outside. And now the count is full on the leadoff man for Wisconsin. Warkentine fiddles with the baseball and now comes home with the payoff pitch. Swinging a chopper just out in front of the plate. And that is a fair ball. It bounced just in front of the plate. Drew Stengren immediately popped out of his squat, snared it out of midair, and tagged Schaefer out when he was just in the left-handed batter's box. So score that a 2 unassisted to start the bottom of the first. Rivets and Wisconsin Woodchucks scoreless at Athletic Park on a beautiful Saturday evening for baseball as Kevin Kilpatrick steps in. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter in the first pitch is a slow breaking ball that misses low and away for ball 1. Kilpatrick, the redshirt freshman from Central Florida Community College, enters this one with a clip of 306 at the plate. 1-0. Fastball down and in near the shoe tops of Kilpatrick. And the count is 2-0. Kilpatrick's got good power. He's got 3 home runs, 16 RBIs. 2-0. Big swing and a foul off to the third base side. On the ground, and it's 2-1. It's very tempting for right-handed hitters to take big hacks here at Athletic Park. Just 304 down the left field line. Kilpatrick taps the inside part of the plate in the right-handed batter's box, leans back, and here's the 2-1. Fastball misses up and away, and the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Kilpatrick with a short, open batting stance, watches the 3-1 pitch high. That's ball 4. Kilpatrick improves upon his .390 on-base percentage, and the Woodchucks have a base runner in the bottom of the first inning. Rivets and Wisconsin Woodchucks tied at 0. First frame. Thanks for joining us. C.J. Kafis, one of 4 lefties, steps in the left-handed batter's box to face the southpaw Jace Warkentine. He sets at the belt, looks at Kilpatrick at first base, and delivers the first pitch. It's swung on and poked down the left field line. Long run for Greg Ziegler, and he can't get there. Drops fair, and it's a foul ball. The fans did not think it was a foul ball. Excuse me, a little confusion as the umpires signaled that it was a dead ball. It must have hopped over the wall there in left field. It did. There is an open spot in the fence that the ball slipped through, so it's a ground rule double for C.J. Kafis. Kevin Kilpatrick is awarded third base, Kafis in scoring position as well, and it's a little trouble in the first inning for the Rivets, a common theme this season. The four-batter Griffin Lockwood steps in, the redshirt junior from Central Michigan. Rivets infield shades in. We're scoreless right now, but that could change quickly. Warkentine working from the right side of the rubber, fires the first pitch. Breaking ball misses just a hair outside. To the big right-handed batter, Griffin Lockwood. Redshirt junior from Central Michigan. Standing right next to his CMU teammate, Drew Stengren, doing the catching for Rockford today. 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses outside in the left-handed batter's box, and it's 2-0. Warkentine getting behind batters here his last few times. Walked Kilpatrick, who's now on third base. Gave up the double to Kafis, who's on second. Warkentine takes a breath and fires the 2-0. Fastball high. The count is 3 balls and no strikes. First base is open with Antonio Valdez, the sophomore from Baylor, waiting on deck. Lockwood takes a few half swings in the right-handed batter's box, brings his hands above his helmet, and the 3-0 is a fastball that catches the zone for a called strike one. Lockwood was taking all the way there. Griffin just 3 for 8 so far this summer with an RBI and a walk. 3-1 pitch. Swung on and crushed deep left field. Greg Ziegler back on the track. He's playable for him. He reaches up, makes the grab. Kilpatrick tags from third base and scores. It's a sacrifice fly for Griffin Lockwood. And it's 1-0 Wisconsin Woodchucks in the bottom of the first inning. That's out number 2. So Warkentine close to averting more damage. But of course, early runs has been the tale over and over for this Rockford Rivets team this season. Now 49 runs surrendered in the first 2 innings of games. CJ Kafis remains on second base. Antonio Valdez steps in, and the first pitch is swung on and missed on a breaking ball. Gets away from Stengren. And as a result, Kafis moves on up to third base. I think Stengren and Warkentine got crossed up there. Valdez wasn't ready for the curveball, but neither was Stengren. And now there's another run just 90 feet away. The Rivets did not allow a run in the first or second inning yesterday for just the 5th time this season. The Rivets are 4-1 when they don't allow a run in the first 2 frames, but of course that's out of play today. Warkentine sets at the belt. Pauses and delivers the 0-1. Fastball misses outside, and it's 1-1. It's surprising to see Stengren and Warkentine not on the same page after they were so dialed in Warkentine's last start in Kenosha. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled on the ground towards the third base dugout, and the count is 1-2. But I talked to Rivets catcher Drew Stengren about that before the game today, and he told me that Warkentine didn't shake off Stengren until the 8th inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Breaking ball in the dirt. Stengren tags out Valdez, and the bottom of the first inning is over. The rough starts continue for the Rockford Rivets as Warkentine allows a walk, a double, and a sacrifice fly from Griffin Lockwood. And our score going to the second inning is Wisconsin Woodchucks 1, Rockford Rivets nothing. You're listening to the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Headed to the second inning in Wausau with the Rivets trailing the Wisconsin Woodchucks 1-0. Ryan Lobis pitching with some early run support as Jace Warkentine surrenders a sacrifice fly in the bottom half of the first. Rivets have now allowed 49 runs in the first 2 innings of games this season. Far from ideal, but they've come back from this spot before. That'll be 4, 5, 6 in the order due up here in the second frame, starting with Brody Harding, the sophomore from Illinois, hitting .292 entering this matchup. Had a 2-hit game yesterday against the Lakeshore Chinooks in a tough Rivets loss. They enter this one in 4th place in the Great Lakes East Division. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher in the first pitch. Misses high and away. This is game number 19 of the season for Rockford. So we're now past the halfway point of the first half in the Northwoods League campaign. Rivets fighting to get back to 500. The set and the 1-0 to Harding. Swing and a miss on a change of pace. Lobis got him to wave and miss on a pitch in the top half of the zone. And it's 1-1. The freshman headed to Mercer next year. Sets in an open stance from the middle of the rubber. And fires the 1-1. Fastball misses outside. Fans didn't like the call. A nice crowd on hand at historic Athletic Park here in Wausau. Lots of heads down the grandstand, down the third base line. 2-1. Fastball called a strike on the outer black, and it's 2-2. Athletic Park built in 1936, so it's been around here in northern Wisconsin for quite some time. Lobis sets at the letters. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Pulled on the ground to the right side and through into right field. And it's a leadoff single for Brody Harding to start the Rockford second. Harding continues his hot start, getting his batting average back up near 300. Rivets shortstop getting moved up to the cleanup spot in the order few games ago by J.T. Scara, and he's stayed there since. So with a runner on first base and the Rivets trailing 1-0 in the second inning, here's Brian Fuentes, redshirt freshman from Indiana. The first pitch to the righty, squares to bunt, pulls back, but it's called strike 1. Looked like a fastball on the outside part of the zone. Jeff Osborne is known to have a little bit of a wide strike zone, favoring pitchers. Fuentes batting .259 for Rockford entering this matchup. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Nice breaking ball that sweeps over the heart of the plate, taken for a called strike 2. Fuentes, native of Crystal Lake, Illinois, but has roots in Venezuela. Sporting black and gold stirrups in the right-handed batter's box. The 0-2 pitch swung on and lifted into center field. Jacob Schoenvogel shades towards right field and reaches up and makes the grab one-handed. And that's out number 1 in the top half of the second inning. One down, top half of the second inning. Rivets behind 1-0. Here's Philip Matulia, red shirt, or excuse me, just plain old junior from Louisiana Tech. No red shirt for Phil. Left-handed batter, one of 2 in this Rivets order. And before the first pitch, a pickoff throw to first base, and Brody Harding just got in safely. The fans thought he was as dead as a doornail, but Harding reaching out just enough to get back safely. Woodchucks reading the scouting report. Harding's got 4 swiped bags. First pitch to Matulia, misses outside, ball 1. Phillip has gotten off to a bit of a slow start this summer. He's 0 for 8 in 2 games with the Rivets. Had a monster season for Louisiana Tech. Pause and the 0-1. Another pickoff throw to first base, and Harding is again in safely. But another great move from Ryan Lobis. The 6'2 righty jumping off the mound very adeptly. Harding was not that far from first base, but it was still close. Now he takes a little bit more of a lead. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Misses outside again, and it's 2-0. Matulia hails from Houston, Texas. Played in 50 games this spring for the Bulldogs. Hit .311 with 8 home runs and 37 RBIs despite missing a little time with a wrist injury. Pause from Lobus and the 2-1 delivery. Swinging a jam shot up the middle. Caught by the shortstop Schaefer. He throws to first and Harding is back safely. So after Ryan Lobus surrenders a leadoff single to Brody Harding, he retires the next 2 batters. And now the frame comes down to Jared Cushing, the redshirt freshman from Xavier. Rivets behind the Wisconsin Woodchucks 1-0 in the top half of the second inning. Cushing enters this one with a batting average at even .200. Another pickoff throw to first base, and Harding is back safely, a little less close that time. Jared has struggled greatly on the road. He's just 1 for 20 away from Rivets Stadium. First pitch to him, fastball on the outer black, taken for a called strike 1. Cushing, tonight's third baseman. Harding on first base as the shortstop. Cushing with an open batting stance in the 0-1 to him. Breaking ball in there for a called strike. On the lower half of the zone, but Lobus has had good command on that curveball. And he's out ahead of Cushing 0-2. He taps the plate. Leans back a little bit in an open stance. Lobus sets at the chest and delivers the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. A foul tip from Cushing into the glove of Griffin Lockwood. The breaking ball brought Cushing to his back knee. And the inning is over. 3 Ks for Ryan Lobus, and he strands Brody Harding on first base after a leadoff single and after 1.5. Our score, Wisconsin Woodchucks 1, Rockford Rivets 0. You're listening to the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Bottom of the second inning at Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin. Rockford Rivets trail Great Lakes West opponent, Wisconsin Woodchucks, by a score of 1-0. Woodchucks pushing across a first inning run on a sac fly by Griffin Lockwood. And Jace Warkentine will look to settle things down by facing 6, 7, 8 in the Chucks order, starting with Bryson Hill, the left-handed batter, sophomore from Abilene Christian. So much damage done to the Rivets in the first 2 innings this season. Here's the first pitch to Hill. Swung on and popped into center field. Long run for Tyler Hawkins. The shortstop, Brody Harding, backpedals towards left field and makes the grab over his head. It was a tough play for Harding. Would have been easier for Tyler Hawkins or the left fielder Greg Ziegler to make the grab, but doesn't matter. Harding taking command and making the play. 1 pitch, 1 out for Jace Warkentine in the bottom of the second inning. Rivets trailing 1-0. Here's Taylor McGregor, the junior from Columbia University, left on left, and a breaking ball is in there for a called strike 1. McGregor, the native of Peabody, Massachusetts. So an East Coaster playing ball in the Midwest this summer. Warkentine from the windup. On 1 pitch. Breaking ball misses inside, and it's 1-1. But McGregor falling victim to the Ivy League's decision to cancel all spring sports this season. No season at Columbia. The 1-1 is a fastball missing outside, and it's 2-1. So McGregor's most recent NCAA numbers came back in 2020. He played in 6 games, batted .364. The 2-1 slider in the dirt, taken for ball 3. Warkentine getting behind again. McGregor hitting just .234 so far for the Woodchucks with 9 RBIs, 14 strikeouts. We'll see if Warkentine can come back and get him. Here's the 3-1. It's in the right-handed batter's box to the lefty McGregor, and that's ball 4. 2 walks issued by Warkentine early in this one. Rivets behind to the Woodchucks 1-0. As here's Jose Lazard. Jose Azara, the freshman from Miami, is 0 for 2 as a Woodchuck, made his debut last game. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter, and the first pitch is swung on and foul-tipped. Past the catcher, Drew Stengren, and it's 0-1. Jose Azara, one of 2 Miami Hurricanes on this Woodchuck squad. Azara did not play a whole ton this spring. Just tallied 14 games. Was 1 for 14 with 3 RBIs. Warkentine looks at McGregor on first and comes home with the 0-1. Breaking ball misses outside, and it's 1-1. Jace has not been able to find the strike zone with his off-speed stuff early on, and that has certainly thrown off his approaches with hitters. Likes to throw those curveballs and sliders early. 1-1 on the way. Fastball misses outside. Throw down to second base as the runner goes. Not in time. It was a bit of a delayed steal from Taylor McGregor, and it looked like Stengren with a good throw could have got him, but it was too high, and Josue Urdaneta couldn't bring down the throw in time. And McGregor records a stolen base. So there's a runner in scoring position for Jose Azara. 2-1 swung on and fouled out of the stadium over the press box while out of play, and it's 2-2. One unique feature about Athletic Park here in Wausau is the stadium faces west. So when the sun sets in the evenings, everybody is in the sun. The batter is facing the sun. The pause in the 2-2 from Warkentine. Swing and a miss, he got him. Azara swinging through the curveball. Second strikeout of the evening for Warkentine. And that's the second out of the bottom of the second inning. Runner on second base now for the 9-batter, Jacob Shane Vogel. Freshman from Baylor is a left-handed batter. Batting .083 with a .214 on base percentage for the Woodchucks. And the first pitch, tailing breaking ball on the outer black, called strike 1. Rivets trailing 1-0. Bottom of the second inning. Warkentine looking to keep the score here. He sets at the belt and fires the 0-1. Swing. Tapper back to the pitcher, Warkentine. He gloves it and flips underhand in time to Brian Fuentes, who's waiting at first base. And the inning is over. So Warkentine works around a 1-out walk issued to Taylor McGregor and strands him on second base. After 2, our score remains Rockford Rivets 0, Wisconsin Woodchucks 1. You're listening to the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Wisconsin Woodchucks 1, Rockford Rivets nothing as we go to the third inning in Wausau, Wisconsin. Rivets will send up 8-9-1 in the order, starting with Drew Stengren, the freshman from Central Michigan, to face Ryan Lobis, the right-hander from Mercer, cruising along early. Part of a Woodchuck staff that has allowed just a .280 earned run average through 17 games this season. That's the best in the Great Lakes East, or Great Lakes Division overall. Of course, the Rivets belong to the Great Lakes East, while Wisconsin plays its games in the Great Lakes West. So this is an inter-subdivision matchup. Woodchucks in first in the West, tied with the Lakeshore Chinooks. The Rivets are in fourth, 4.5 games back of the Traverse City Pit Spitters entering action today. We'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard in a moment. Stengren steps in, righty on righty in the first pitch. Breaking ball that misses a little bit outside and low. The count is 1-0 on Drew Stengren. Stengren is 0 for 10 as a Rivet, but he's drawn 5 walks. Great plate approach from the freshman. 1-0. Fastball finds the zone that time on the outer half, and it's 1-1. Drew, I'm sure, chatting it up with Griffin Lockwood, his fellow Central Michigan Chippewa, behind the plate. Lockwood sets up inside, and the 1-1 is swung on and missed. Breaking ball kicks up some dust, and the count is 1-2. Stengren has struck out 4 times this season so far. He adjusts himself in the right-handed batter's box, waves the bat back and forth a little bit. Holds the bat off his shoulder. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball high for ball 2. I talked to Drew about Griffin Lockwood a little bit before the ball game, and I asked the open question, well, is Lockwood any good? And Stengren said, oh yeah. 2-2, swing and a miss on a breaking ball outside the zone. Strikeout number 4 of the afternoon for Ryan Lobis. That's out number 1 in the top of the third. Base is empty for the 9-batter Greg Ziegler. Rivets trailing 1-0. Looking to avoid a third straight loss. Greg Ziegler, the sophomore from Missouri State, has struggled a little bit out of the gate this summer. Right on right, the first pitch, swung on and lifted into shallow right field. C.J. Kafis makes the play for out number 2. Kafis didn't have to move much at all. Took maybe a few steps in. And that is 2 down. Ryan Lobis cruising along has set down 5 straight Rivets after allowing a leadoff single to Brody Harding to start the second inning. Lobis pitching with a 1-0 lead. Brings up the top of the order in Josue Urdaneta. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out, and the first pitch to the switch hitter misses inside. Urdaneta batting from the left side here. Redshirt freshman from Indiana State. 2 for 9 as a Rivet so far this summer. Native of Venezuela. Speaks good English. Attending Indiana State. 1-0, misses upstairs. And the count is 2-0. But Josue playing with his Indiana State teammate Brian Fuentes on this Rivets roster. Sports a slightly closed batting stance from the left side. Here's the 2-0. Misses inside to Urdaneta, and it's 3-0. Josue doesn't provide a big strike zone, standing at 5'9" from the left side here. Looks comfortable in the box. Moves his elbows back and forth a little bit. Waiting on the 3-0 pitch. It's a fastball down the chute. Taken for strike 1. Josue's got good speed, so if he reaches, he is a threat to steal a base. Rivets just trying to get Ryan Lobis out of his rhythm a little bit. It's been hard to do. 3-1, swung on and grounded to shortstop. Schaefer fields waist high and throws just in time to first base to beat a hustling Urdaneta. And it's a 1-2-3 top half of the third inning for Ryan Lobis. And the score holds. Rivets nothing. Woodchucks 1. You're listening to the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Wisconsin Woodchucks 1, Rockford Rivets nothing as we go to the bottom of the third inning in Wausau. Jace Warkentine working around a walk in his last frame after surrendering a sacrifice fly in the first inning. Rivets running into more early trouble, but generally it's been limited. Here's the top of the order to face the lefty Warkentine, starting with Jordan Schaefer, the redshirt junior from Indiana State. Schaefer is 0 for 1 with a ground out to the catcher in his first at-bat. First pitch to him, he squares the bunt, pulls back, and takes ball 1 outside. Schaefer had a big season in the Missouri Valley Conference, was all MVC first team. 1-0, misses downstairs and away, and it's 2-0. But Schaefer played in 52 games for the Sycamores, batted .367 with 7 long balls. 2-0 to him. High chopper to third, and it gets past Jared Cushing into left field. It's a leadoff single for Jordan Schaefer in the bottom of the third inning. And there's a runner on first base for the two-batter Kevin Kilpatrick, who walked and scored the first run of the ball game in the first frame. Rivets trailing 1-0 in the bottom of the third. Although we've been so quick to mention the Rivets struggling in the early innings of games this season. First pitch, swung on and chopped to short. Harding charges, throws the second for 1. The relay from Urdaneta. In time at first base. A delayed call from Perry Schwartz there. But it's a 6-4-3 double play. Pitcher's best friend induced by Jace Warkentine. And just like that, there's 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Here's C.J. Kafis with the bases empty. Rivets behind 1-0. Lefty on lefty here. Warkentine quickly to work, and the first pitch misses high. But what I was about to say is, although we've been quick to mention the Rivets' struggles in the early innings, Warkentine surrendered a run in the early goings of his last start, which was very, very good against Kenosha. 1-0, popped up, shallow left field. Greg Ziegler calls everybody off, shades towards the line, and makes the grab. And Jace Warkentine faces the minimum in the bottom of the third inning and keeps the Woodchucks off the scoreboard for the second consecutive frame. Our score, Woodchucks 1, Rivets nothing, as we go to the fourth at Athletic Park on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Fourth inning at Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin. The Rivets trail the Wisconsin Woodchucks 1-0 as we take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard around the Northwoods League today. Kokomo Jackrabbits ahead of the Green Bay Booyah in Kokomo, 1-0 in the top of the sixth. Kenosha ahead of Battle Creek, 1-0 in the bottom of the third in Kenosha. Kalamazoo and Lakeshore Kalamazoo winning game 1 down south on the shores of Lake Michigan 3-2. Game 2 coming up here in a little bit. Traverse City and Wisconsin Rapids, 0-0 in the bottom of the second in Traverse City, and Madison and Fond du Lac also scoreless in the top of the second. Rivets sending up 2-3-4 in the order, starting with Tyler Hawkins, who takes strike 1 as the top half of the fourth is underway. Rivets and Woodchucks, little Great Lakes West, Great Lakes East action. 0-1 is a big wave and a miss by Hawkins. And the count is 0-2. Hawkins struck out swinging in the first inning. He taps the inside part of the plate, stares out at Ryan Lobus, who comes set and fires the 0-2. Swing and a miss on a pitch, gets away from Lockwood, and Hawkins is going to be safe at first base.
That is still a strikeout, though. So tap Miller Lite is 2 for 1 the rest of the
And Hawkins chats with Blake Mosley, who's serving as Rivets' first base coach tonight, and shrugs his shoulders as if to say, well, it's away on base. So Hawkins is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, but the Rivets have a base runner to start the fourth inning. Here's Wade Elliott, who also struck out his first time in the first inning. Righty on righty. Hawkins with great speed on first. Elliott squares the bunt. It's a hard one up the third base line. Lobus fields, quickly throws to first in time. Tyler Hawkins moves up to second base, so it's a successful sacrifice. And the Rivets have a runner in scoring position. It is the tying run. Rivets behind 1-0 here in the fourth frame. And here's Brody Harding, the only Rivet with a hit tonight. Rivets with no runs on 1 hit, no errors. Woodchucks with 1 run on 2 hits, no errors. Harding waves the bat back and forth, adjusts his sleeve a little bit, and here's the first pitch to him. Swung on in line, back up the middle. Long run for the center fielder, and now the left fielder, Kevin Kilpatrick, calls off Shane Vogel and makes the grab. That one hung up a little bit too long for Harding, trying to work to the opposite field, and that's a quick second out. Rivets looking to avoid stranding Tyler Hawkins on second base as Brian Fuentes steps in 0 for 1. Fuentes flied out to center field his first time in the second. Ryan Lobus cruising along, looking really sharp today against this Rivets order. Hawkins takes off for third. The pitch misses outside, throw down to third, not in time. A risky move. JT Scara sending Hawkins to third base with 2 outs. But the risk pays off, and the Rivets have their first run of the day 90 feet away. So all Fuentes has to do is drop one into the outfield, and we've got a tie ball game. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled back off the screen, and it's 1-1. The sun working its way down the horizon, still shining brightly at Athletic Park in Wausau. The ballpark faces west, so everybody is sitting in the sun. The fans, the press box, the hitter, the catcher, the umpire. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and crushed down the left field line. Kevin Kilpatrick towards the line, makes a running grab in front of the warning track. And that is the third out of the fourth inning. So the Rivets strand the tying run on third base in the form of Tyler Hawkins, who reached on a strikeout. And they are once again kept off the scoreboard. After 3.5, it's the Woodchucks 1 and the Rockford Rivets 0 on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Headed to the bottom of the fourth inning at Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin. Rivets trail 1-0. Early runs biting the Rivets once again as Chase Warkentine surrendered a walk, a double, and a sacrifice fly by Griffin Lockwood in the bottom of the first inning. And that's all the scoring in this one. Warkentine settling in to toss 2 scoreless innings after that first. And he'll face 4, 5, 6 in the Chucks order. Wisconsin tied for first in the Great Lakes West. Rivets tied for third place with the Kokomo Jackrabbits in the Great Lakes East. So it's a little interdivision matchup here. Very tight in the standings in the Great Lakes West. The wind in the first pitch to Griffin Lockwood. Fastball down the middle, taken for a called strike 1. So looking at those Great Lakes West standings, Lakeshore and Wisconsin tied at the top, and Fond du Lac and Rapids just half a game back. The 0-1 misses in the dirt, gets away from Stengren, doesn't matter with nobody on. The count is 1-1. It's a little less tight in the Great Lakes East with Traverse City 3.5 games up on second place Kenosha. The wind and the 1-1, slow breaking ball misses above the chest to Lockwood, who had the aforementioned sac fly in the first inning. Warkentine working quickly, fires the 2-1, swung on and grounded up the third base side, and it's 2-2. But earlier I mentioned that Drew Stengren was talking about Griffin Lockwood before the game, and he said he's going to have his name called in the draft. He said he's probably only going to be here in Wausau for a few weeks. Warkentine holds the glove out in front of his face and comes home with the 2-2. Swung on and cued on the ground to first base. Fuentes fields, flips to Warkentine, who covers the bag and steps on the pillow for out number 1 in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Now batting the third baseman, Antonio Valdez.
Base is empty for the 5-batter Antonio Valdez, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. That came back in the first inning, ending the frame with a runner on third base. Rivets trail the Woodchucks 1-0. Valdez, the sophomore from Baylor, doing battle against the redshirt junior from Western Illinois. The first pitch from Warkentine upstairs, ball 1. Warkentine, a native of Winnebago, Illinois, just outside of Rockford. Sporting a mustache and a long mullet. And the next pitch is swung on and fouled off. And the count is 1-1. Valdez has played in 4 games entering tonight's contest, batting just .143. Warkentine comes home with the 1-1. Fastball way outside, gets to the backstop, bounces back to Drew Stengren, who tosses a new baseball back to Warkentine, and it's 2-1. I think Jace would tell you that he doesn't have his best stuff tonight. The command on his breaking pitches and his fastball have been a little bit off, but he's managed. The kick in the 2-1 misses high, and the count is 3-1. Warkentine was dialed in his second start of the season back on June 11th against Kenosha, won Northwoods League Pitcher of the Night after 8 innings of work. The 3-1 pitch is a fastball called strike at the letters. Valdez shakes his head, signaling that he did not agree with the call, but the count is full. Warkentine looking for strikeout number 3. He kicks and fires the payoff pitch. It misses outside. Valdez drops the bat and trots to first base, and it's a 1-out base runner for the Woodchucks in the bottom of the fourth. 3 walks issued tonight by Warkentine, surpassing his total of 1 in his last outing. I think that's a signal that he doesn't have his best stuff tonight in Wausau. Rivets behind 1-0. Bryson Hill steps in. Redshirt sophomore from Abilene Christian, popped out to shortstop to start the second inning, his first time. Lefty on lefty. And the first pitch from Warkentine. Fastball fouled back. Hill was on it, and it's 0-1. It's an interesting seating setup here at Athletic Park, which is 86 years old. But, of course, the seating bowl has been redone since the park was constructed in the 1930s. Large grandstand standing on the third base side of the field. 0-1 from Morkentine. Breaking ball, called strike right down the middle, and it's 0-2. But on the first base side, there's more patio-style seating with an awning featuring fans to keep fans cool. And then further down the line, there's picnic tables set up in front of the Rivets bullpen. Morkentine pauses and comes home with the 0-2 pitch. Pitch misses low and away. Runner takes off for second, and the throw is not in time. Brody Harding couldn't handle the throw. Bounced in and out of his glove, and Antonio Valdez steals second base. So now the count is 1-2 on Hill, who has 5 RBIs this summer for the Chucks. Morkentine sets at the belt. Valdez dances off a second, and the 1-2 pitch misses in the dirt, knocked down by Stengren, who sheds the mask. Keeping Valdez where he is. The count is even now at 2-2. Morkentine not getting ahead of many batters tonight, and when he has, the count has been prolonged. Holds the baseball behind his back. Shakes off Stengren a little bit. Now comes set. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses too far outside again, and now the count is full. Morkentine a pitch away from issuing back-to-back walks. Rivets trailing 1-0, looking to avoid 3 straight losses. The pause, the fans make some noise, and the payoff pitch. Swung on and pulled foul up the third base line, and it bounces off the tripod, which holds the camera for the Northwoods League Baseball Network broadcast. All equipment is okay, good to see. Morkentine with a new pearl. Sets at the belt, takes a breath, and another payoff pitch. Swung on and poked into deep left field. Playable for Greg Ziegler, who moves towards the line and makes the play mid-stride. And that's out number 2. Scored an F7, and there's 2 down in the bottom of the 4th with the runner on second base for Taylor McGregor. McGregor walked and stole second base his first time up in the 2nd inning. Rivets behind 1-0. The Screws allowing a first inning run. And the first pitch to the junior from Columbia is on the way. Breaking ball in there for a called strike. On the inside black. It's a nasty breaker. McGregor turned away from it a little bit. Massachusetts native, sporting a little bit of a beard. Here's the 0-1. Another curveball, another called strike. That time Morkentine going to the back door to the left-handed batter McGregor, and it's 0-2. We'll see if Jace can finish him off. Got just 2 strikeouts tonight compared to 3 walks. He's got the sign from Stengren. Sets at the belt and comes home with the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a foul ball into the Rivets' first base dugout, and we'll have another 0-2. McGregor chats it up with Stengren a little bit. McGregor not playing this spring at Columbia. No baseball for Ivy League squads this spring. The breath and another 0-2. Swung on and popped up on the third base side. Jared Cushing, the third baseman, moves into foul territory and makes the grab on the track. And that's the end of the 4th inning. Chase Morkentine again strands a runner on second base for the 2nd consecutive inning. And the Rivets toss up another 0 as we move to the 5th inning. It's Woodchucks 1, Rivets nothing on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Headed to the 5th inning in a pitcher's duel between the Rockford Rivets and the Wisconsin Woodchucks. The Chucks out in front 1-0 thanks to a first inning sacrifice fly, but that's been the extent of the offense in this one. Rivets with just 1 hit, Wisconsin with just 2. The Screws will look to change that as they send up Phil Matulia, Jared Cushing, and Drew Stengren in the top of the 5th inning as this game is zipping along as we hit an hour on the dot of game time. First pitch at 6:07 Central Time. We're now at 7:07 Central Time. Still bright and sunny in the heart of Wausau. Ryan Lobis comes set and delivers the first pitch to the lefty Matulia, and he swings and fouls it off. Up the first base side, bounces off the Rivets dugout, and that's strike 1. Matulia is 0 for 9 as a Rockford Rivet. Took some good hacks in batting practice and said he felt good. It's only a matter of time before he comes through with his first hit. The pause and the 0-1. Swung on and pulled again up the first base side. And the count is 0-2. Ryan Lobis, the freshman from Mercer, has been very good in his 4 complete innings of work. 5 strikeouts and no walks. Gazes in for the sign from Griffin Lockwood. Sets at the chest. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Matulia lays off a breaking ball in the dirt, and it's 1-2. It's a very well manicured natural surface at Athletic Park. Sun shining down on the green grass. The kick and the 1-2. Fastball misses outside. Matulia, the junior from Louisiana Tech, joining the team just a few games ago. And it does take an adjustment to get used to these wood bats after playing with metal all spring. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a foul tip off the foot of Matulia as he hops out of the left-handed batter's box. Looks like he's all right. But I talked to Phil about it. He said, honestly, I've only used wood bats hitting in the cage here and there. So I've never used it in any sort of summer season. Phil didn't play in any summer leagues last season. And after his freshman season at Louisiana Tech, he had knee surgery, so he couldn't play then either. So he's getting a taste of Northwoods League action here. We'll see if he can get that first base knock with a wood bat. Here's another 2-2. Misses high, and the count is full. But you look at Matulia, and he just looks like a ball player. Looks comfortable from the left side. Featuring long, flowing blonde hair out of the back of his black batting helmet. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on and popped up. On the infield, now shallow right field. Jose Azara makes the grab after sprinting to the spot. And that's out number 1 in the top of the 5th inning. Base is empty, 1 down for Jared Cushing, who's 0 for 1. Rivets behind 1-0. In the top of the 5th inning. Cushing now 1 for 21 on the road this season. Righty on righty in the first pitch. Cushing lays off a breaking ball down and away. I talked to Cushing about that stat, and he didn't realize he was struggling so bad on the road. Often ball players don't. 1-0, fastball splits the plate. The count is 1-1. But I told Cushing the stat, and he exclaimed, so that's what's screwing my stats. My road numbers. 1-1 pitch. Cushing leans away from the bender. Almost caught a piece of his jersey. Rivets sporting their dark gray road uniforms. Gold lettering, gold numbers. Wisconsin in their home whites with green pinstripes. 2-1 pitch. Chopped foul on the third base side. The count is 2-2. Green numbers on the back of the Chucks uniforms with gold lettering across the front. That says Woodchucks, in addition to dark green caps. The set and the 2-2 to Cushing. Awkward swing and a foul ball back to the screen. Cushing didn't want to go around all the way on a breaking ball, but he took a bit of a half swing and got a piece of it. Got to do what you got to do to stay alive. Still 2-2. Cushing standing at 6'3" in the right-handed batter's box. Another 2-2 from Ryan Lobis. Breaking ball low and away, check swing, and Cushing did not go around. First base umpire Perry Swartz with the call, and the count is full. Rivets looking for their third base runner tonight. Brody Harding had a hit in the second inning, and Tyler Hawkins reached on a strikeout in the fourth. Here's the payoff pitch. Chopped foul off the foot of Cushing. He hops around out of the right-handed batter's box. Walks it off a little bit. Appears to be in a little bit of pain, but Jared is used to playing through pain. Cushing actually broke his finger while playing for Xavier this spring. Ended up deciding to play through it and has continued to do so here in the Northwoods League. And to start the season, he was batting with a large splint on his right middle finger while hitting. Here's the payoff pitch. Breaking ball misses low, and Cushing draws a walk. Fans really don't like the call. Lobis has had good command on his curveball tonight, but that one misses downstairs. And the Rivets have a one-out base runner. Here's Drew Stengren, who's 0 for 1. The freshman from Central Michigan struck out swinging his first time. Rivets behind 1-0, top of the fifth. Here's the first pitch to Drew. Misses outside. Cushing with a small lead off of first base. He's got good enough speed to try and steal, but I'm not entirely sure that JT Scare is going to go that route. Lobis pauses and delivers the 1-0, misses down and away. The count is 2-0. So Lobis struggling with command a little bit. Has not missed the zone a ton tonight. But after issuing the walk to Cushing, he's missed the zone 2 times in this at-bat against Stengren, who does not swing it much outside of the zone. Quick check on Cushing, who dives back safely. Using his 6'3" frame to his advantage there. Doesn't have to dive all that far, can pretty much do a lot of reaching. Takes a little bit more of a lead, and now the 2-0 to Stengren. Fastball on the inner black, called strike. Well-located fastball from Lobis. Entering this start with a 1.80 ERA, contributing to the Wisconsin Woodchucks Great Lakes League best 2.80 mark. 2-1 misses low and in, and the count is full, or excuse me, the count is now 3-1. Lobis a pitch away from walking another Rockford Rivet. Stengren taps the plate twice. Looks out at Lobis. He comes set and delivers the 3-1. Swung on and grounded to second base. Fielded by Azara. Goes to second for 1. The relay from Schaefer is in time to get Stengren at first base. It's a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play in the top of the fifth, and Ryan Lobis continues to cruise along. 5 scoreless innings from the freshman from Mercer. And the Rivets are still behind 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the fifth on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Bottom of the 5th inning at Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin. We've got a pitcher's duel on our hands as the Woodchucks lead the Rivets 1-0. Jace Warkentine allowing just 1 run. That came back in the 1st inning on a sacrifice fly. Since then, he's allowed just 1 hit in his other 3 innings of work. He'll face 8-9-1 in the order, starting with Jose Azara, the freshman from Miami. Swings at the first pitch and sends it into left field on the ground past the diving Brody Harding. So Azara starts the bottom of the 5th with a base knock as the Woodchucks look for some insurance, as Ryan Lobis on the other side of things has allowed just 1 hit and no runs through 5 innings of work. Jace Warkentine quickly back on the rubber, working from the right side. Comes set for the first pitch to Jacob Shanevogle. He squares to bunt. He gets it down up the third base line. Jared Cushing, the third baseman, fields and throws up the line. Jose Urdaneta backing up the throw. He throws down to third base where Drew Stengren, the catcher, is covering. And it's not in time. Everybody is safe on the bunt by Jacob Shanevogle. That'll be scored an E5 on the throw by Cushing. Got away from Brian Fuentes at first. And the Rivets are in some trouble right off the bat in the bottom of the 5th. Jose Azara on third, Jacob Shanevogle on first, and Jordan Schaefer, the leadoff man, steps to the plate. Schaefer singled and was cut down at second base in the 3rd inning on a double play. Got 3 hits so far this summer, just a few games. Lefty on righty, and the first pitch is swung on and popped foul. Out of play down the right side and into the neighborhood that surrounds Athletic Park in Wausau. Athletic Park is probably one of my favorite places to visit in the entire Northwoods League because it's got a Wrigley Field vibe to it. 0-1, breaking ball misses outside. Throw goes down to second as the runner takes off, and Shanevogle swipes second base. Jose Azara remains on third. That stolen base takes the double play out of order. That'll bring the Rivets infield in with Azara on third base, Shanevogle on second. Count is 1-1 on Schaefer, and the fastball misses up and away. Taken for ball 2. Warkentine has worked efficiently through 4 innings of work, 67 pitches, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. He sets and comes home with a 2-1. Misses high and away. The count is 3-1 with Kevin Kilpatrick, the redshirt freshman from Central Florida Community College, waiting on deck. Pitcher's dueling this one. Rivets looking to keep it close. Here's the 3-1. Pitch misses outside. And it's the 4th walk of the day issued by Jace Warkentine, and it loads the bases with no outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. Doug Coe, the Rivets pitching coach, is going to come out for a visit. Bringing in the entire Rivets infield for a chat. Coe talking over strategy, and now with ducks on the pond, there's a force anywhere, and I'm sure if there was a ground ball on the infield, Rockford would go home with it. Azara with good speed on third base. But of course, the Rivets want to keep this a 1-0 ball game. In case you're just joining us, all the offense coming in the 1st inning of this one. A sacrifice fly by Griffin Lockwood is the lone run scoring play.
Now batting the left fielder.
Jace Warkentine has a little bit of work in front of him if he wants to keep the score 1-0 as Kevin Kilpatrick climbs in the right-handed batter's box after the mound visit. Rivets middle infield shades at double play depth. The corners shade back, and the first pitch to Kilpatrick misses upstairs. Kilpatrick walked and scored the only run of the ball game in the 1st and grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the 3rd. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball called strike. Outer half of the zone. Good pitch by Warkentine. Gets the baseball back, immediately steps back on the rubber Gets the sign from Stengren, comes set. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Curveball, swing and a miss. Beautiful breaking ball from Workentine, and he's out ahead 1-2. Fans don't think, excuse me, that Workentine has anything. We'll see what he brings on the 1-2, and he gets him swinging. Strike 3 as Workentine pulls the string on Kilpatrick with the curveball on back-to-back pitches. That is a big strikeout for out number 1 in the bottom of the 5th. Strikeout number 3 for Workentine. Bases remain loaded for the 3-batter C.J. Kafis. Kafis doubled in the first inning and flied out to left his last time in the 3rd. First pitch swung on in line to shortstop and into left field. Izara comes around to score. The throw goes to the plate for Shane Vogel, and he is tagged out. A great throw from Greg Ziegler is in time to get Shane Vogel, who tried to dance out of the way of the tag, but could not do so. Kafis safe at first base, and Schaefer going from first to third on the play. The score is now 2-0 Wisconsin, but it could have been worse as Greg Ziegler saves a run. That's out number 2. It's an RBI single for C.J. Kafis. And that brings up Griffin Lockwood. Drew Stengren steps out in front of the plate, runs through some signs before Lockwood steps in. He's 0 for 1 with a sac fly. Tapped out to the pitcher his last time. First pitch. Fastball misses outside, and it's 1-0. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. Lockwood entering tonight 3 for 8 on the season. He's got 2 RBIs now. 1-0. Fastball tails too far outside, and it's 2-0. Lockwood hit .253 this spring for the Central Michigan Chippewas. 2 home runs. 2-0 pitch. Misses outside, and it's 3-0. Workentine is another ball away from reloading the bases. Lockwood taps the plate once. Workentine's 3-0 pitch. Misses in the dirt, stopped by Stengren, and the bases are loaded again.
That's another Woodchucks loss. That reads this month for JDRF, courtesy of Crystal Finishing System.
Jordan Schaefer on third base, C.J. Kafis on second, Lockwood on first after the walk, and Antonio Valdez climbs into the box. Rivets behind the Wisconsin Woodchucks 2-0. Rivets have lost 2 in a row. Wisconsin coming off of a loss yesterday. First pitch to Valdez. Fastball misses outside. Valdez walked and stole a bases last time, struck out swinging in the first inning. Another strikeout here to end the inning would be huge. Kick in the 1-0. Fastball catches the upper reaches of the zone. Valdez checked his swing, but it doesn't matter, and it's strike 1. Workentine's control has been spotty at best today, but he's made do with it, looking to limit the damage here. The 1-1 swung on, fouled over the net and out of the stadium. It's 1-2. Workentine examines the baseball and steps on the rubber. Struck out a batter earlier this inning before allowing an RBI single by C.J. Kafis. 1 run in, bases loaded. Here's the 1-2 to Antonio Valdez. Breaking ball misses low and in. And a called strike 3. From home plate umpire Jeff Osborne, an extremely late call on a breaking ball inside, but it ends the inning. It's a looking strikeout for Jace Workentine, but the damage is done. RBI single by C.J. Kafis doubles the Woodchucks lead from 1 run to 2 runs as we go to the 6th inning. Woodchucks 2, Rivets nothing. You're listening to the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Headed to the 6th inning at Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin. It's a beautiful sunny day for baseball. Hasn't been so great for the Rockford Rivets, especially on the offensive side of things. Rivets trail 2-0. They will send up 9-1-2 in the order to face Ryan Lobus, who's out for inning number 6 of work. And boy, has he been good. 5 strikeouts, just 1 walk, and 1 hit allowed against Brody Harding in the top of the 2nd inning. He'll face Greg Ziegler to start the inning. Greg drops down a bunt up the third base line. It's a good one, and it rolls foul. That one started rolling on the dirt and moving towards foul ground. Antonio Valdez, the third baseman, scooped it up. The count is 0-1. Ziegler, Urdaneta, and Hawkins due up in the frame for Rockford. 9-1-2 in the order, trying to crack Ryan Lobus. Ziegler is 0 for 1 with a fly out into right field his first time up in the 3rd inning. Sophomore from Missouri State, planning to transfer. Pause and the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball low and away. Ziegler laid off of it, and it's 1-1. So often Ziegler's approach is to the opposite field. Perhaps his biggest moment of the season came with a game-winning sacrifice fly against the Kenosha Kingfish as the 1-1. Breaking ball misses inside, and the count is 2-1. But Ziegler stepped to the plate. That was back on June 10th with the bases loaded. In the bottom of the 9th inning, he knew what he had to do. He sent a fly ball out to right field, and it was enough to score Wade Elliott from 3rd. 2-1 pitch, swung on and popped up. Sky high. Lobus, the pitcher, points for it. The infield converges around the mound, and Antonio Valdez, the third baseman, calls everybody off and makes the play. Ziegler shakes his head as he heads back to the dugout. He's 0 for 2. And here's the top of the order with the bases empty in the top half of the 6th. Josue Urdaneta steps in the left-handed batter's box, 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. Josue, the only switch batter in the Rivets roster. He squares to bunt, pulls back, and takes a ball on the dirt for ball 1. Rivets trailing the Woodchucks 2-0. Top of the 6th inning. I asked Josue which side of the plate he likes to bat from better. He told me left for sure. 1-0, he squares to bunt again, pulls back again, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes. But Josue told me that he started playing baseball as a righty as a kid, and it wasn't working for him, so his parents flipped him to the left side of the plate, and he's been a switch hitter ever since. 2-0 delivery, another bunt attempt, this time gets down foul. The count is 2-1. Josue also told me that when he was a kid, he started doing a lot of things with his left hand, but his mother wanted him to be right-handed, so she taught him how to be right-handed. But Josue is a natural left-hander, but he throws with his right. But he's a switch hitter in baseball. The 2-1, chopped on the ground to second base, takes a nasty hop on Azara, reaches across his body to glove it and throws on to first in time. That was a very tough play made by the Woodchucks second baseman. And there's 2 down in the top of the 6th inning.
All right, fans, it's that time of the game again. It's time for the beer batters.
Rivets trailing 2-0 as Tyler Hawkins steps in 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He reached on his last strikeout, though, but was stranded on third base in the 4th. Righty on righty, the first pitch from Lobus. Tailing breaking ball, misses low end outside. And it's 1-0. Looking down the right field line, the Rivets have action going in their bullpen. Looks like a left-hander, might be Brad Dubutte. 1-0 pitch, breaking ball, called strike. Moving from strike to ball, or ball to strike, excuse me, on the inner half. Hawkins took it at the knees. Lobus has had great command with the benders all day long. He sets at the chest and delivers the 1-1. Another curveball, another called strike. That one on the inner half, not breaking as much, but the count is 1-2. Rivets looking for something, anything, off the freshman right-hander headed to Mercer. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Tyler Hawkins. Swung on and poked in the air out to right field. CJ Kafis moves through shadows and makes the grab above his head, and the inning is over. It's a 1-2-3 top half of the 6th inning, worked by Ryan Lobus. As we go to the bottom half, with the Rockford Rivets trailing the Wisconsin Woodchucks 2-0. You're listening to the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning at Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin. Woodchucks out in front of the Rockford Rivets by a score of 2-0. And the Screws have a new arm on the mound. It's Brad Dubutte, the left-handed side armor out of Wright State. Has an ERA of 0 in 4 innings pitched. He's allowed just 2 hits, 6 strikeouts, and 1 walk. He faces 2 lefties at least in this inning, starting with Bryson Hill on the first pitch. Misses outside. This redshirt sophomore from Abilene Christian. Bryson Hill, Taylor McGregor, and Jose Izarra due up. And the 1-0 is a fastball that misses off the outside black, and it's 2-0. 6, 7, 8 in the order. Due up in the frame. Woodchucks doing their scoring with 1 run in the first, 1 run in the 5th. Dubutte sets in the 2-0 pitch as a jam shot foul ball. Net blocking that one from entering the grandstand, and the count is 2-1. The final line on Rivet starter Jace Warkentine. He went 5 innings, surrendered 5 hits, 2 runs, both of which were earned, 5 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Dubutte from the stretch comes home with a 2-1. Swung on and fouled off to the left side again and out of play, and it's 2-2. Dubutte's angle is hard for anybody to face, but especially left-handed batters. And I think that was JT Scarra's thinking here to bring him in at this spot in the order. Dubutte has the sign from Drew Stengren, sets at the letters, and delivers the 2-2. Swung on, slow roller to third base. Cushing gobbles it up, throws off balance in time as Fuentes stretches at first base. And that's out number 1 in the bottom of the 6th.
Now then, the first baseman, Tyler McGregor.
Rivets trail the Wisconsin Woodchucks 2-0. Sacrifice fly by Griffin Lockwood in the first inning. And an RBI single by CJ Kafis in the 5th inning is all the scoring in this one. Rivets managing just 1 hit on Chuck's right-hander Ryan Lobus. First pitch to Taylor McGregor is a fastball in for a called strike. Dubuque's fastball with a lot of run. Lefty hurling from a sidearm angle. Comes set in a closed stance. 0-1 delivery. Breaking ball misses outside. Stengren makes the catch. Points back to his pitcher as if to say, keep doing what you're doing. The count is 1-1. McGregor walked and stole second base in the 2nd inning. Popped out to 3rd his last time. 1-1, chopper up the middle. Harding charges, throws across the diamond in time to Fuentes at first base. It's a 6-3 putout and 2 up, 2 down in the bottom of the 6th inning for the Wisconsin Woodchucks. And Jose Azara steps in 1 for 2 with a single his last time. Woodchucks tied for first place in the Great Lakes West Division at 10-7 with the Lakeshore Chinooks. Rivets enter this matchup 8-10, tied for 3rd in the Great Lakes East. First pitch to Azara. Fastball on the outer half, taken for a called strike 1. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. Azara, the freshman from Miami. That would be the Miami in Florida, of course. 0-1. Fastball misses low below the knees to the second baseman. And it's 1-1. But so often in the Midwest you get used to people saying Miami, Ohio. 1-1 ground ball to second base. Urdaneta gobbles it up and tosses across to Fuentes to record the out. It's a 1-2-3 bottom of the 6th inning for Brad Dubuque in his first inning of relief work. And the score remains Wisconsin Woodchucks 2, Rockford Rivets nothing on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Wisconsin Woodchucks 2, Rockford Rivets nothing as we go to the 7th inning at Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin. Woodchucks doing their scoring on just 2 swings of the bat. A sacrifice fly in the bottom of the 1st inning and an RBI single in the 5th inning is the difference. As Jace Warkentine, the Rivets starter, surrendering both of those runs. Rivets will try to come up with some late magic as they send up Wade Elliott, Brody Harding, and Brian Fuentes. 3, 4, 5 in the Screws order. Now would be a great time to rally as we are waiting on the inflatable bubbles that were used in the between innings promotion to be moved out of left field. And it was a promotion gone wrong as I don't think the fans understood what they were supposed to do. They had 3 people standing in inflatable bubbles and none of them bowled into each other. First pitch to Wade Elliott. Fastball misses inside. The count is 1-0. Elliott is 0 for 1 with a swinging strikeout and a sacrifice bunt back in the 4th inning. Ryan Lobus still out there for another inning of work, and the 1-0 misses high. Count is 2-0. Lobis has allowed just one hit, and it came off the bat of Brody Harding in the second inning. Elliott, the sophomore, headed to Louisiana Tech. Tomahawks the 2-0 down to third base, gobbled up by Valdez. He throws to first in time. A great play by the third baseman. Looked like that ball almost ate him up a little bit. But the 5-3 putout is recorded to start the top half of the seventh inning. Wisconsin ahead of Rockford 2-0, and here's Brody Harding. Harding 1 for 2 with the Rivets' lone hit on a single in the second inning. Flied out to left field his last time. The seventh inning is when things all went wrong for the Rivets yesterday in their 4-3 loss to Lakeshore. First pitch to Brody Harding, swung on and fouled back over the screen for strike one. Rivets went to the bottom of the seventh, ahead 3-1 on the Chinooks. Rivets manager JT Scarra put in Jake Armstrong, who surrendered 2 home runs. A 2-run shot to tie it, and then a solo shot to give the Chinooks a 4-3 lead. Rivets would never come back. 0-1 to Harding. Swung on and poked off the end of the bat, foul, and Brody let go of his bat. Harding having a hard time gripping onto his bat today as he gets tossed some pine tar out of the Rivets dugout, and he wipes down his black bat with it. It's been a common theme for the Rivets this season, is not being able to hang on to the bat. Woodchucks also coming off a loss yesterday, 10-8 to the Madison Mallards here at Athletic Park. Lobis from the stretch. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and pulled foul up the first base side. We'll have another 0-2 pitch. But the stat that jumps out to me about this Woodchucks squad is they are 5-1 following losses this season. So they've done a great job making sure those losses don't turn into streaks. Another 0-2 to Harding, swung on and poked into left field, right at the left fielder, Kevin Kilpatrick, who doesn't move a step and makes the grab chest high. And that's out number 2.
First baseman Brian Fuentes.
So here's Brian Fuentes, redshirt freshman from Indiana State. He's 0 for 2. With 2 flyouts, lined out to left field his last time in the 4th inning. Ryan Lobis has gone 6 2/3 scoreless. First pitch, breaking ball, called strike on the outer half to Fuentes, who didn't like the call. Looks down to JT Scarra in the third base coach's box. It's hard to tell if JT did anything or not, as the sun is shining very brightly into the press box. Here's the 1-0, breaking ball sent into center field. Shane Vogel comes in, long run for him, gives way for Kafis, who makes a diving grab. The right fielder, Kafis, comes into center field and makes the play. And it's another 1-2-3 inning. And the Rivets are set down in order in the top half of the 7th. Rivets offense just cannot get anything going against Ryan Lobis, who has now gone 7 scoreless innings against the Rivets. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's stretch time at Athletic Park. Our score, Woodchucks 2, Rivets nothing. Rivets trail the Wisconsin Woodchucks 2-0. as we go to the bottom of the 7th frame in Wausau. A beautiful evening in the Northwoods. Packed stands at Athletic Park, rooting on their Woodchucks. It's a fireworks night here at Athletic Park, but that might pose a problem as this game has been zipping along and the sun is still very high on the horizon. And here at Athletic Park, that makes things interesting as the park faces west, so the sun is shining into the press box from left field, into hitters' eyes, into fans' eyes on the grandstand. Brad Dubutte out for a second inning of relief work, and he fires the first pitch upstairs to Jacob Shane Vogel. Shane Vogel, the 9 batter, 9-1-2 due up in the inning. Jordan Schaefer waits on deck. Here's the 1-0. Fastball misses outside, and it's 2-0. Dubutte behind in a matchup of lefties. Worked a 1-2-3 6th inning. Rivets just need to keep the score right here and hope for a late inning rally. Here's the 2-0. Fastball down the pipe. Taken for a called strike 1. Shane Vogel is 0 for 2 with a ground out. And he reached on an error his last time in the 5th and was cut down trying to score at home plate. 2-1, big hack and a miss. Shane Vogel barely got a piece of it. Tipped it into the glove of Drew Stengren. The count is back even now at 2-2. Dubutte working from the stretch with nobody on. Comes set at the chest. Here's his 2-2 delivery. He got him. Wave and a miss, strike 3. A great pitch from Dubutte. Looked like a bit of a changeup. And that is out number 1 in the bottom of the 7th. Rivets trail the Wisconsin Woodchucks 2-0. Rivets with no runs on 1 hit, 1 error. Chucks with 2 runs on 5 hits, no errors. Here's the top of the order and Jordan Schaefer. First pitch, fastball outside, taken for ball 1. Schaefer, the redshirt junior from Indiana State, has reached his last 2 times. 1 for 2 on the day with a walk and a single. Now he takes a fastball in there for a called strike. And the count is 1-1. Schaefer, a teammate of a few Rockford Rivets. Josue Urdaneta at first base, or at second base. Brian Fuentes at first base. 1-1. Tailing breaking ball misses outside. And the count is 2-1. Looking down the Rivets bullpen, nobody stirring. So this is Brad Dubutte's inning. Looking to keep the Rivets within striking distance. 2-1 to the righty, Schaefer. Misses outside, and it's 3-1. Dubutte with good control so far this summer in the Northwoods League. Just 1 walk issued entering this outing. Here's the 3-1 pitch, swung on and popped up. In foul territory, in play, Brian Fuentes shades towards the tarp, hops up on the tarp, and watches it sail into the seats. Foul. Count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. Dubutte looking for back-to-back strikeouts to start the bottom of the 7th inning. Woodchucks looking to bounce back from a loss yesterday. Rivets looking to avoid 3 straight losses. Here's the payoff pitch, popped up, this time in play. Brian Fuentes, the first baseman, moves towards the line. He's underneath it and makes the grab for out number 2. And fun interaction there after the out was recorded as Fuentes stood right next to his teammate Jordan Schaefer, Indiana State Sycamores, almost converging before Fuentes caught that pop fly. Those two exchanged some words and a smile. So there's 2 down, bases empty for Kevin Kilpatrick, and the first pitch to the righty is in there for a called strike. Fastball on the outer half. Kilpatrick hitless today, 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored back in the first inning. Dubutte comes set at the letters, the 0-1. Swung on and poked foul over the screen, and it's 0-2. Not a big hole for the Rivets to climb out of. Looking ahead to the top half of the 8th, they'll send up Philip Matulia, Jared Cushing, Drew Stengren 6, 7, 8 in the order. Rivets have been dominated by Ryan Lobis. Here's the 0-2. Chopping ball to shortstop. Backhanded by Harding. Long throw. Not in time. It's a long and looping throw by the Rockford shortstop. Jared Cushing, the third baseman, made a diving attempt at it. Couldn't get there. Would have been easier for him to make the play, but that's an infield hit for Kevin Kilpatrick, his first base knock of the day. Sixth of the day for the Woodchucks as they lead 2-0. Bottom of the seventh inning. Here's C.J. Kafis. Kafis made an outstanding diving grab to end the last inning for the Rivets. First pitch, grounded to second base. Urdaneta over to field and throws to first in time, and the inning is over. More efficient work from Brad Dubuque as he works around a 2-out infield hit from Kevin Kilpatrick, and our score remains Wisconsin Woodchucks 2, Rockford Rivets 1. As we go to the 8th on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Heading to the 8th inning with the Wisconsin Woodchucks out in front of the Rockford Rivets by a score of 2-0, and now the Rivets are going to have to get it done against the back end of the Woodchucks bullpen as Gio Camfield gets the baseball out of the pen. He's a right-hander out of St. Louis, Missouri, attends Spring Hill College, and in 7 1/3 innings this season, he's yet to allow an earned run. He struck out 8, walked 3, and he will face 6, 7, 8 in the Rivets order, starting with Philip Matulia. He takes over. Camfield does for Ryan Lubis, who was masterful in 7 innings of work, allowing just 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts, making a bid for Northwoods League Pitcher of the Night. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher, and the first pitch to Philip Matulia is swung on and lifted and to left field. Playable for Kilpatrick, who moves into the shadows, steps in front of the track, and puts it away for out number 1. Rivets trailing 2-0. Top of the 8th, bases empty and 1 down for Jared Cushing, who is 0 for 1 with a walk. Struck out in the 2nd inning. As the sun continues to fall on the horizon, now in straightaway left field, a little below the light towers. First pitch to Cushing, in there for a called strike 1. It is very tough to see on any sort of fly ball to left field. And I imagine it's tough for hitters to see the baseball coming out of Gio Camfield's hand. The pause in the 0-1 pitch. Fastball called strike on the outer half. Cushing's not happy with it, but the count is 0-2. Rivets have lost 2 straight games, both to the Lakeshore Chinooks, another Great Lakes West opponent. Rivets and Woodchucks will run it back tomorrow afternoon, a Father's Day Sunday matinee. Will be the Rivets' 4th straight game against a Great Lakes West team. The pause in the 0-2 to Cushing. Swing and a foul back. It's a big hack from Jared. His helmet popped off a little bit. He adjusts it, and we'll have another 0-2. Rivets catching some bad scheduling luck, playing the 2 best teams in the Great Lakes West. Lakeshore and Wisconsin back-to-back. They're tied atop the division at 10-7. Rivets are tied for 3rd in the Great Lakes East. 0-2 to Cushing, breaking ball in the dirt. Griffin Lockwood sliding out of his crouch to try and snare it. Gets by him, doesn't matter. Nobody on, 1 out. Top of the 7th inning. Rivets behind 2-0. They've managed just 1 hit. Cushing spins the bat around. Holds it above his right shoulder. And the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball down and away. The crowd grows restless as they wanted a strikeout. Camfield quickly working from the right side of the rubber to the righty Cushing. He has his sign. Sets at the chest. And the 2-2. Poked into right field. Kafis going back on it, now settles under it and makes the catch for out number 2. 2 flyouts for the Rivets in the top of the 8th inning. And the bases are empty with 2 down for Drew Stengren. Wisconsin Woodchucks 2, Rockford Rivets nothing. Rivets really have struggled a little bit lately to put up runs when they need to. Last night they fell behind in the 7th inning and were set down in order with the final 6 outs of the ball game. First pitch to Stengren, grounded back to the pitcher. Camfield drops to his knees to snare it, gets up and throws to first in time. 9 straight Rivets have now been set down in order as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning with Rockford trailing Wisconsin by a score of 2-1 on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. We're going to the bottom of the 8th inning at Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin. We're in the midst of a pitcher's duel as the Rivets are trailing 2-0 to the Wisconsin Woodchucks. In case you're just joining us, Ryan Lobis shutting down the Rivets for 7 innings of work before Gio Camfield came on to pitch a scoreless top half of the 8th inning. Jace Warkentine got out-dueled today. He went 5 innings, allowed 2 earned runs. The only offense in this one belonging to the Wisconsin Woodchucks. Brad Dubuque is back out for his 3rd inning of relief work as he climbs on the rubber to face 4, 5, 6 in the order, starting with Griffin Lockwood, the redshirt junior from Central Michigan. First pitch to the right-handed batter. Fastball tails outside. Ball 1. Lockwood had a sac fly in the 1st inning to score the 1st run. Tapped out back to the pitcher in the 4th and walked in the 5th. 1-0 pitch. Misses outside. and it's 2-0. Dubuque allowed a single in the 7th inning, but worked around it. Wright State left-hander, joining the Rivets about a week ago, has been a tool out of the bullpen for JT Scara, and the 2-0s hacked at and missed. Lockwood wanted to crush that pitch. The count is 2-1. Very lively crowd at Athletic Park tonight. Buzzing during inning breaks, buzzing during game action. The 2-1. Fastball tails too far outside, and it's 3-1. But it's something about being at a baseball game with a lively crowd that makes it just a little bit more fun. Makes it easier to broadcast, especially when there's big moments. Dubuque sets and fires the 3-1 pitch. Swung on and lifted into right field. Matulia runs towards the line, now in foul ground near the bullpen, and he watches it bounce out of play. He had no play on that. It was near the Rivets bullpen, which is kind of hard to see from our angle down the right field line, but it bounced in the picnic area down there. Grandstand down the third base line is nearly completely filled. Patio areas down the first base side also very populated. Here's the payoff pitch to Griffin Lockwood. Fouled back to the screen, and we'll have another. Wisconsin Woodchucks in first place in the Great Lakes West. Rivets in third place in the Great Lakes East. And either the Rivets or somebody else in the division needs to get a move on to try and catch Traverse City before it's too late in the first half. Payoff pitch again, fouled off to the right side, out of play and out of the stadium. Traverse City is 3.5 games ahead of Kenosha in the standings, 4.5 games ahead of the Jackrabbits and the Rivets, who are tied at third place. But looking at the out-of-town scoreboard, Wisconsin Rapids ahead of Traverse City. Payoff pitch, grounded through the left side into left field for a base hit. So Lockwood fouls off 2 3-2 pitches and comes through on the 4th. And it's a leadoff single to start the Woodchucks' bottom of the 8th inning. So here's Antonio Valdez, sophomore from Baylor, is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, and now we get a pinch runner. It's Tyler Kehoe, the redshirt freshman from Liberty. So we're likely going to get a substitution at catcher going into the 9th inning. Looking ahead to the Rivets' 9th inning, they need 2 runs to tie and extend this game. It'll be 9-1-2 due up. Greg Ziegler, Josue Urdaneta, and Tyler Hawkins. So not a bad spot in the order for the Rivets to be in, but they're going to have their work cut out for them. Five-batter Valdez steps in the box, and the first pitch to him misses up and away for ball 1. Brad Dubuque losing his command on the zone a little bit here. Rivets looking to avoid their 3rd straight loss. 1-0 from Dubuque. Swung on and poked into right field. Matulia runs towards the line. He's got a beat on it and makes the grab. Kehoe tags at first base, and he's not going to head towards second. That's out number 1. Score that an F9 for out number 1, and we've got a pinch hitter as Tommy Delgado comes into the ball game for Bryson Hill. So Woodchucks manager Corey Thompson playing a little matchup as he doesn't want Hill, the lefty, to face Brad Dubuque, the crafty lefty side armor again. Tommy Delgado, the redshirt sophomore from Loyola Marymount. Hit .232 there in 40 games this spring. As Tyler Kehoe, the pinch runner at first, takes a big lead. Here's the first pitch to Delgado. It's in for a called strike. Dubuque working quickly, steps back on the rubber as the sun continues to set beyond the left field wall. Long shadows now. Dubuque steps towards first and throws the check on Kehoe. He's back safely. Rivets suffering a tough loss last night. Woodchucks also lost 10-8. And a stat we mentioned earlier, Woodchucks are 5-1 following losses this season. Dubuque comes back with a fastball and it misses outside just a hair. The count is 2-1. The lights have been flipped on at Athletic Park. Not big towering light poles like you're accustomed to seeing at newer ballparks, but clusters of 3 lights on each pole. 2-1 pitch, swinging a foul off the mask of Drew Stengren. And he takes his mask off to get his bearings about him. Home plate umpire Jeff Osborne walks out in front of the plate. Tosses a new baseball back to Dubuque and now brushes off the plate to give Stengren some time. Common baseball courtesy. Those foul tips off the mask can be oh so dangerous, of course, as we've discovered in recent years with developing science technology. Catchers are at the most risk for concussion in baseball. 2-2 to Tommy Delgado, swing and a miss. And that's strike 3. Brad Dubuque sets him down with a runner on first base, and that's out number 2 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Rivets behind the Woodchucks 2-0. Chuck scoring 1 in the first and 1 in the 5th, and that's all it's taken so far. It always hurts to get shut out, but especially in a close game. First pitch to Taylor McGregor. It gets away from Drew Stengren, and Tyler Kehoe moves up to second base. That'll be a wild pitch. Nowhere close to the zone for catcher Drew Stengren. And it's 1-0 on McGregor. It was 0 for 2 with a walk. When I was researching McGregor on Google earlier today, I looked up his name and I ran into a problem. 1-0 is a fastball called strike at the letters 1-1. I searched Taylor McGregor baseball, and the Marquee Sports Network sideline reporter, Taylor McGregor, who works Cubs games, came up. And of course, their names are spelled a little differently. The 1-1 fastball catches the outer black, called strike 2. McGregor spells his name M-A-C-G, while McGregor, who works at Marquee Network, doesn't have an A after the M. Made my job a little more difficult. Here's the 1-2 to McGregor, swinging a jam shot foul back to the screen, and we'll have another 1-2 pitch. But there was not many numbers out there on Taylor McGregor from this season because he did not play at Columbia. Also played just 6 games in 2020 before the season was canceled due to COVID. Dubuque set for another 1-2, and the pitch is on the way. Swung on and sent into center field, falling fast, and it falls in front of Hawkins. Kehoe around third base. The throw to the plate is in time to get him. It's an outfield assist for Tyler Hawkins to end the bottom of the 8th inning, as Hawkins picks up his 3rd outfield assist of the summer, and a message to the Northwoods League: don't run on the Rivets center fielder. The inning is over and the score remains: Wisconsin Woodchucks 2, Rockford Rivets 0. Last chance for the Rivets coming up after a break on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Top half of the 9th inning, last chance for the Rockford Rivets as they trail the homestanding Wisconsin Woodchucks by a score of 2-0. And the Screws are going to have to do it against the hard-throwing left-handed closer from Rowan College, Thomas Kane, who's made 2 appearances this season, pitched 2 innings, has struck out 3 batters, has not allowed an earned run, and he's picked up 1 save that came in his last outing just 2 days ago against the Madison Mallards. Rivets will send up 9-1-2 in the order, starting with Greg Ziegler. Josue Urdaneta on deck. He'll get his first appearance from the right side tonight. First pitch to Ziegler is on the way, swinging a foul back for strike 1. Greg, the right-handed batter, is 0 for 2 tonight. Beautiful night for baseball in Wausau, Wisconsin. Rivets need to come back. Kane with the overhead windup, pause it in the delivery, and the 0-1 is sent into deep right center field, and the center fielder, Shane Vogel, makes a running grab on a sinking liner. Score it in F8, and that's out number 1 in the top of the 9th inning. Rivets behind 2-0, down to their final 2 outs now. Here's the top of the order, and Josue Urdaneta. Josue is 0 for 3 with 3 groundouts. 2 to second base, 1 to shortstop. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. And the first pitch on the way. Josue squares the bunt. It's back to the pitcher. Kane fields, spins, throws over the head of McGregor. And Urdaneta was going to be safe either way, so it's a bunt base hit. Good play by Jose Azara to back it up. Saved his pitcher from an error, and now the Rivets have a base runner, and the tying run is at the plate in Tyler Hawkins. One could say that the redshirt freshman from Louisville is due. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts tonight. Has not had a hit in a while. Didn't have one yesterday either. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. Hawkins squares the bunt and pulls back on a heater on the inside of the plate. Count is 1-0. Kane working from the stretch, sets at the chest and comes home with the 1-0. Tomahawked, sinking liner into right, and that drops in for a base hit. Urdaneta stops at second. Tyler Hawkins stops at first. And the Rivets have back-to-back one-out singles in the top of the 9th. Rockford's threatening, down by 2. Still looking for their first run. They pick up hits 2 and 3 here in the 9th inning after entering the frame with just 1. Wade Elliott steps to the plate, 0 for 2 with a sac bunt and a strikeout. Rivets leader in batting average entering tonight. First pitch. Fastball misses inside, gets away from the catcher Vincent, and both runners move up 90 feet, and a single could tie the game. Colton Vincent in as a defensive substitution for Griffin Lockwood at the start of this inning makes a costly miscue. Fastball was low and in. Vincent just didn't catch it cleanly, and it bounced off of his shoe. Huge spot in this game. First real big offensive opportunity for the Rivets. Josue Urdaneta on third, Hawkins on second. Here's the 1-0 to Elliott. Takes a big swing and a miss on a fastball high outside of the zone, and it's 1-1. Elliott with a homer and 12 RBIs this season. Rivets were heartbroken in yesterday's loss. Now looking to do the same to the Woodchucks. The 1-1. Breaking ball in the dirt. Check swing from Elliott. He did not go around. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Brody Harding waits on deck. Big spot for the freshman Thomas Kane. Has the sign, sets at the belt. 2-1 to Wade Elliott. Swung on and grounded to second base. Jose Azara gobbles it up and throws to first in time. Josue Urdaneta comes home to score from third base, while Hawkins moves up to third. The score is now Woodchucks 2, Rivets 1, but the Screws are down to their final out. And Cam McDonald, a pinch hitter, is in for Brody Harding. JT Scara playing some matchups as Harding was a lefty, or is a lefty. was supposed to face the left-handed Thomas Kane. So the final hope for the Screws comes down to McDonald, the redshirt sophomore from Illinois. Lefty on righty, the first pitch to Cam. Fastball down the chute, taken for a called strike one. The Woodchucks are an out away from win number 11 on the season. Rivets an out away from loss number 11. McDonald goes around on a breaking ball, and he checked up his swing. That was a breaking ball in the dirt, and the count is 1-1. McDonald enters this at-bat hitting just 135 on the season with 3 RBIs. A base knock here would be his biggest run batted in this season. 1-1 from Kane. Fastball high, and it's 2-1. Cam McDonald, a 3-year Rockford Rivet, has been clutch so many times for this ball club in the past. Can he do it again on the road? 2-1 pitch. Fastball up and in. And the 6'5" batter leans away from it, and the count is 3-1. Brian Fuentes waits on deck. 2 outs, top of the 9th inning. Rivets trail by 1. Runner on third is Tyler Hawkins. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. A power fastball on the inner black, and now the count is full. The Rivets are down to their final strike in Wausau. McDonald taps the plate with a wide open batting stance from the right side. The pause and the payoff pitch. Popped foul. We'll do it again. The crowd is into it at Athletic Park. Everybody is stuck around, of course, in a good game for the Woodchucks, but it's also a fireworks night, but the sun is still shining beyond the left field fence. Long shadows now at Athletic Park. Another payoff to McDonald. Swung on and driven into center field. Playable for Shane Vogel, and he makes the grab, and the ball game is over. The Rivets strand the tying run 90 feet away. And Tyler Hawkins on third base. They push across 1 run in the 9th inning, but it's not enough. And the Rivets drop their 11th loss of the season. It's their 3rd straight as they fall by a final of 2-1. We'll be back with the totals after this on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Welcome back to Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin, where the Rockford Rivets have just fallen to the Wisconsin Woodchucks by a final score of 2-1 on a beautiful Saturday night in the Northwoods. Let's get you your final lines. First for the victorious Wisconsin Woodchucks. 2 runs on 7 hits, no errors, and 6 left on base. For the Rockford Rivets, 1 run on 3 hits, 1 error and 3 left, including the tying run on third base in the top half of the 9th inning. The winning pitcher is Ryan Lobis, who made a very solid bid for Northwoods League Pitcher of the Night tonight, going 7 innings, surrendering just 1 hit, a second inning single by Brody Harding. No runs, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. The loss goes to Jace Warkentine, who did not have a bad outing, but went 5 innings, surrendered 2 earned runs, and that's all it took for the Woodchucks to down the Rivets. He walked 5 while striking out 4. The save goes to Thomas Kane, who made things interesting in the 9th inning as the Rivets scored a run on an RBI ground out by Wade Elliott. He allowed 2 hits, giving up just that 1 run, but he did enough to strand the tying run on third base as Cam McDonald flied out to center field for the final out of the ball game. The Rivets drop to 8-11. It's their 3rd straight loss, all to Great Lakes West Division opponents. 2 to Lakeshore, now 1 to the Woodchucks. The Woodchucks improved to 11-7 on the season. Rivets and Chucks getting this ball game done in 2 hours and 13 minutes, which poses a problem on fireworks night as we approach the longest day of the year, as the sun is still very much shining beyond the left field wall at Athletic Park. I don't have an attendance number, but I'm going to go ahead and guess a crowd well over 1,500 was on hand to watch this pitcher's duel. These 2 teams are going to run it back tomorrow at 1:05 on Father's Day, matinee style. The Rivets will send up Ryan O'Reilly in his first start as a Rockford Rivet, and the starter for the Woodchucks is to be announced. Rivets looking to salvage the road trip, looking to avoid losing 3 games on the road trip and 4 straight before they start a 6-game homestand at Rivet Stadium on Monday afternoon. So that about does it from Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin. This is Larry Larson saying thank you for listening. Thanks for spending your Saturday night with us on the Rockford Rivets radio network. Again, the final, the Wisconsin Woodchucks take a pitcher's duel, 2-1 over the Rockford Rivets. This has been a presentation of the Rockford Rivets radio network. So long, everybody.